You know, being a parent, sometimes you have to learn to expect the unexpected. And in this video, I want to share with you something that made those unexpected happenings a little smoother in my life. Hi everyone! You know, life has a way of throwing us curveballs every now and then. And in this video, I wanted to share with you an idea that I used from the time my kids were very little all the way up until they were young adults. And that idea is to have an emergency box. It's kind of a take on a first aid box, but it's a little more customized to kids because I can't even tell you how many times my kids would suddenly come running up to me with a paper cut, a sliver, a hangnail, blood gushing from their knee because they wiped out on their bike. You never know what little medical emergency is going to come at you. And in those times, your children are very upset, crying usually hysterically, and you really don't have time to be searching through your house for the Band-Aids here, the antibiotic cream here, an ice pack over here. It makes it a lot easier when it's all contained in one box. And I want to share with you what I personally used in my box. Okay, now in this box, I had a little ice pack. Now, the key is here with children, those bigger ones are heavy and bulky and they are really too much. And I happened to find this one at the Dollar Tree and it is perfect size for young kids. I have a little sanitizer so that I don't have to run to go wash my hands. I can quickly put this on my hands and know that I have clean hands to address their wounds. I also had, for the unexpected sting from either a mosquito, bee, or whatever they come in contact with at the park, an anti-itch cream is always good to have in the box. I usually kept acetaminophen and ibuprofen. Now when they were younger and they couldn't swallow pills, I had the suspension liquids. And I used a slightly bigger box. It was like a little miniature tackle box. And that fit those suspension bottles in a lot better. But now that they're older and they can take pills themselves, I usually kept the acetaminophen, the ibuprofen, and then also a Benadryl type medication. Because again, if they have an allergic reaction to a sting, you want to have medication on hand to calm things down a bit until you can get to a doctor. Then I also had, for upset stomachs, you know, that unexpected, Mom, I'm sick, I'm gonna throw up. Sometimes an antacid would take care of that. I also kept these. They're the little ACE bandages. These were great if you had a really big cut and you had a big square gauze pad, but you didn't have tape. Wrapping this around the gauze would help hold it in place. And I usually would keep them in fun colors because, again, with young kids especially, the more colorful you can make things, the better. Then in this box, I always kept, for the splinters, I had my little handy lighter with a little safety pin, and that's what I used to get the splinters out. I also had the tweezers, but sometimes I had trouble seeing it, so I got a little flashlight. Okay, and that way I can see the splinters a little bit easier. So that's what I kept in one little box. Then I kept all the different Band-Aids. Now here's the thing, with kids, I made sure that the Band-Aids, and I don't know if you can see it through there, they have all sorts of little characters on them. They're the fun Band-Aids that kids like. Again, they're upset. You want to give them something to distract them, and sometimes a fun cartoon Band-Aid will do the trick. And then of course I have my antibiotic ointment and liquid skin. Now the next one I had was the gauze and tape. I had both just in case. And finally, antibacterial wipes. Sometimes to wipe out the cut that they got, I would just wipe that off with one of those. Now also what I kept in here was stickers. Again, if your child is upset, having something to distract them is a great option to have. It calms them down so you can treat whatever little injury they have and take care of their needs. And then I also kept a pair of small scissors for cutting some of the tape. And the last thing I recommend to put in these boxes is a little 3x5 card that contains the pediatrician's number, family doctor number, dentist number, allergist, their number, and even the pharmacy number. When you have a child that is upset, screaming, crying, and you want to talk to a professional, you don't want to have to go find your address book or your phone book or be scrolling through all your contacts on your smartphone. I just kept our list tucked in the box. Again, this is just a little shoe box. These can be bought at the Dollar Tree for $1. And then I usually just stored these boxes in a very easy to get to location. Usually when my kids got hurt, we went to the family bathroom, the main bathroom that everyone used. So I kept this in the cabinet underneath so we could get to it really fast. This also made it very easy that when we took trips to the park, I just pulled it out of the cabinet and took it in the car with us. So when my son wiped out and really ripped up his knee badly, I had everything I needed right there to get things cleaned up, and he actually went on and played for another couple hours after that. Okay, so these little first aid boxes have been a lifesaver and a time saver for me. What you can do to also lessen the stress with your children is to let them have fun decorating this box when you create it. That way, when that fall happens and they're upset, seeing the box with their artwork also calms them down, kind of takes the stress out of the situation. Okay, I hope you found this tip helpful. If you did, please give me a big old thumbs up and poke that like button below. And if you're new to my channel, please go ahead and click that subscribe button as well and ring the bell so you know when I'm uploading more videos like this. I'm Pam with Organizer EZ 911. Thanks for watching. This video, why don't you check out one of these over here? And don't forget, the links to my socials are found below.